Okay, so I watched Slumber Party Massacre 2021 this morning, and this movie is nowhere near as good, nor on the level of quality or entertainment as the original two Slumber Party Massacre films. I can't make a full judgment there because I haven't seen part three yet, because part three is damn hard to find, especially if you're looking for it, in physical format in DVD form. Like, forget about it. Fucking forget about it, because this movie is so hard to find, like in store and online. If you know a place where I can rent or buy Slumber Party Massacre Part 3, like, please post a link in the comment section down below, because I do want to check out Part 3, because I'm such a big fan of this franchise, and I love the first two movies so much. And I would like to see how I would like to see the concluding chapter to this franchise. So yeah, if you know a place where I can watch it, like, post it in the comment section down below, and I will watch it in a heartbeat. But yeah, like, I was excited about this remake, retelling, reimagining of Slumber Party Massacre. But on the other hand, as much as I was excited, I was also a bit cautious as well. Like, willing to I was willing to go in with fair expectations. Like, I didn't want to go in, like, over the roof. Like, yay, there's another, Slumber Party Massacre film. I didn't want to go in extremely excited just in case the movie did disappoint me and I came out being like, Slumber Party Massacre 2021 is a complete pile of ass. It's no good. It's nowhere near. No, it's not, as good as the, it's not as good as the original. Like, I went in with pretty fair expectations. It being a retelling, like, and a director's, new vision and new take on that original movie. I was going to kind of go along with the ride. And while this movie does offer some new blood to the franchise, it's not as fun as the original. This movie is a little more serious than the original. Like, it definitely does play up the horror movie cliches that you would expect from a movie like this. It definitely does play that up. Like, there's actually a great cliche at the end where the killer comes back to life, and then the movie actually goes that route. For the final 20-minute climax, which that's that's a cliche that you see in every B grade slasher movie nowadays, and that's been used a lot. And the way I thought it was used in here, like, more as a joke and more kind of poking fun at the slasher subgenre, like, I really enjoyed that. And to kind of like have this new take on the franchise, which, speaking of new take, this movie, there are a few twists and turns with the story that do offer some new story beats and some new story elements, to this film that weren't in the original. There's a final reveal in the movie, which I won't spoil, that while it came a little too late, I thought the execution was pretty good for the most part. But I felt like it kind of, I don't know. Like, I like it, but I'm also just like, this movie, there was a perfect spot beforehand where you had the killer on the ground. You've been stabbing him. He's been stabbed, like, at this point, like 20 something times here. And then you offer this new twist, that I can kind of see the importance there, but I'm just like, you had this perfect ending to the movie, and then you added this second ending on top of it. So in a way, this movie has like two endings. Like, it would be a shame of me to say that like the final 20 minutes weren't entertaining. Like they were entertaining. There was some cool stuff there. Like there was like a cool, like nail gun sequence at the end, which was entertaining. But yeah, it felt like at this point in the movie lost its energy. As soon as something happened, which then led to the second ending, the movie lost all of its energy and it lost some of its entertainment value to me. But anyways, yeah, yeah, that's enough talking about the climax of the movie. Like, it was entertaining. I just felt that if you like, I was glad that it was short, that it was only like 20 minutes long. But like, this reveal comes in at the final like 10 to 15 minute mark of the movie, and it just like it kind of does, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. As far as our killer in the movie, like there's also a new take on the killer. There's some new stance. There's some new blood being injected into this killer. Like the actor I think does a really good job. Like his presence, his presence is pretty scary here. He definitely does come off at points as being cheesy. But like, as far as his body language, there is some new, there was some new blood put into this killer that wasn't in the original. As far as our main cast, our main group of characters, how were they? Our main group of characters, for me at least, were very blah. Like I felt that they weren't bad, but they weren't good either. Like, I felt like they were at that alright point where their performances were believable enough, but their characters, what the fuck are you talking about? Get the hell out of here. Like, the characters in this movie, like, are non-existent. Like, there's an interesting, like, story tie-in with our main chick, who her mother has already faced off against the killer, and then like there's a really cool tie-in at the ending, which I really dug. That actually, I thought that was really cool. But then that also brings up some questions, and yeah, but yeah, like I felt our main cast, like they did a suitable job, but I would much rather stay to the original cast, because I just felt like they were much more entertaining. There's a lot more fun to be had with those original movies. But yeah, like I think this movie isn't like any other remake. It's not trying to copycat the original. It's not trying to make like a frame by frame remake. It does offer some like some new story, some new history. Some new history with this cabin, which I thought added another interesting story beat to the movie. So to call it a frame by frame remake wouldn't be a fair statement, because like a lot of people trash on horror remakes, for like doing a shot for shot remake, and for doing nothing new. This movie at least attempts at it. Like, whether that works or not, is up to how the viewer interprets it. Like for me, I wasn't really so keen on the reveal. While I can see the importance, I can see why it's there. But yeah, so this movie at least had the balls to do something new. Like, it took the Slumber Party Massacre name and it added some more story that we've already seen and heard once before, and it's kind of added some new life, some new story to that, which I really like from a remake. If a remake's different, like, I'll accept it, and that's why I say I accept this remake for being different. Is this movie as good as the original? Like, as I said, no, it's not. but is it entertaining? Is it a movie I can see myself watching again? Yeah. I think this movie works. Like, if you're watching the Slumber Massacre, franchise, and you include the remake in that, like, I don't think you would feel bad, because I think this movie is a perfectly watchable, like 80s nostalgic throwback. Because this movie, if you're a fan of movies like Friday the 13th, and the original Slumber Massacre, I think this movie definitely does have a lot to enjoy with that cabin, like aspect to it, and like in that forest setting. This movie definitely does play up, like those campfire like slashes. What else is there to talk about? Oh yes, the carnage candy, the blood and gore. The carnage candy in this movie rocks. From like the very first frame, this movie is blood and gore galore. It's carnage candy filled. Like the first frame of this movie is someone dying. And two of my favorite killers in this movie there's one that is an eye gouge, so which I really, well, you see more of the aftermath of it. You don't really see it on screen, which I thought was a missed opportunity. And then there's a car one at the end, which if you've seen the movie, that is probably by far my favorite kill. By far my favorite kill in this movie. I thought there were some creative spins on the kills here, but for the most part, it's all pretty simple. It's all pretty just like hack and slash stuff. There's not too many creative ones. Like the car one is probably the one I can think of that comes to mind as being the most creative one in this movie. And yeah, like I thought the direction was good. I really dug the soundtrack. It has a great 80s synth soundtrack to it. And yeah, like I think as a whole, like I enjoyed this movie. This movie was entertaining, but then if you're comparing it to the original, this movie I don't think will hold up as well. But I think there's still a lot of fun. There's a lot of entertainment. If you're a fan of slashers like myself, this movie does poke fun at that subgenre. It does try to get a bit personal with a theme. It introduces with stereotypes that I felt was very out of place in this movie. But yeah, as a whole, like I had a fun time with Slumber Massacre 2021. And yeah, I would watch it again if I had the chance, for sure. I wouldn't watch it, like anytime soon, but if it was raining, like a few months from now, and I had just nothing to do, I'd probably throw this movie on with some popcorn and just like listen to the great soundtrack this movie has. Look at the kills. If you're here for kills, this movie definitely does. It definitely does deliver well. They're basic. There were some creative ones, but there is a lot of blood in here. If you like blood and gore in your slashers, this movie doesn't really hold back. So yeah, like at the end of the day, I had a fun time with Slumber Massacre 2021. If you've seen it, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of it?